Hi, my name is Sonia Rivera and I am the Executive Director for Youth Genesis Consulting. Youth Genesis Consulting was created about 5 years ago. We celebrated our 5-year anniversary this year actually. And we offer solution-focused workshops by we our workshops work to identify a youth potential. We recognize that every youth has potential, and we focus on individual assets and grow those assets and work with these students to promote healthy lifestyles. Eugenesis utilizes strategies that encourage youth to take advantage of their assets and their abilities and strengths that each individual needs to make good choices in life. Many of our students have come to us through the court system. They perhaps have been tardy at school repeatedly, or they're not going to school on a regular basis, or making bad choices, or they have been in fights, or just making poor decisions. Perhaps their behavior is not where it needs to be. Unfortunately, by the time we get some of these students, they've already been through a lot, and they're already beginning the process of becoming institutionalized. So we work really hard to address these issues and work with each student individually and help them to identify what their strengths are so that we can build upon those strengths and help them to be successful. What I've found over the years in working with these students, very few of them can identify what their strengths are. Many of them can identify what their weaknesses are. I repeatedly hear things such as I'm lazy, I have a bad attitude, I'm a bad kid, I wish I could do things differently. And so what we do is build upon those weaknesses that once they've identified these weaknesses, is work with them to help them turn it into a positive. Many of us inadvertently put these kids down by saying such negative things, or the reason that children, or that you think that they're lazy, is because they've heard it over and over and over. I think as a society we put these kids down, and we say things such as, they don't want to do anything, they don't care about anything, this generation is just so lost, they don't listen to their parents. So what we're doing by saying these things is we're putting the seed in their mind, and so they start to buy into it, and we have such low expectations of them that they live up to that low expectation, and they don't go beyond that. They don't build upon their strengths. So that's what we do. We want to build upon those strengths. We want to identify what they think those weaknesses are and say, you know what, you're not lazy. Of course you don't like to clean your room. Nobody likes to clean your room, but it's a responsibility that we all have. Everybody doesn't like school, but it's a responsibility that we have to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves to educate ourselves so that we may be successful in life. You're a teenager. Yeah, you have a bad attitude. There's things that you don't necessarily agree with. We just need to figure out, we need to show you how to address it appropriately. You don't have to agree with everything you hear, but you do need to learn how to communicate responsibly. The other thing is, once they do get to a point where we can start working through tearing down those barriers that they self-impose on themselves, tearing down those barriers and building on their strengths, helping them to identify their strengths. And we begin to identify goals. And what are your goals for the future? What are your immediate goals? What are things that you can do right now to help your long-term goals come to pass? What are your long-term goals? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I want them to imagine life in 10 years, and as in terms of, what do they look like? What are they wearing? What kind of car are they driving? What kind of home are they living in? What career do they think they have? Did they graduate college? Are you living alone? Are you living with your parents? And these things are important because they begin to visualize their life as they want it to. Not placing so much emphasis on the material things, but for them to see that that life is beyond where they are right now. That they do want things, that they do have dreams and hopes, and that the things that they do right now can assist them in attaining those goals. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's what we do in our vendor education workshops. Stay tuned, and we'll be bringing you more videos in the future, highlighting our students and highlighting their successes and highlighting the program successes. Thank you very much, and please go to our website, www.youthgenesisconsulting.com, and our office number is 832-790-9140. Thank you very much.